All right, 93, 93, 93. We back in this bitch. What's going on, Cali? Much love and respect to you as always. You already know. What's up, Red Pill 9? Peace, peace. Well, in this case, not peace. War. You already know the type of time I'm on. Fuck peace. And actually, fuck everybody, right? That's the title of this video, is fuck everybody. Now, of course, this does not go to any one of you, any of the viewers, supporters, subscribers, followers, or like-minded. So this is for the world. What's going on? The nameless one, 93. Peace and war. I just need to start saying peace and war, because this this peace stuff is just not gonna cut it. It's just not gonna cut it, right? What do I mean by that? We'll get into it in a second. So let me I see it's kind of the phone is kind of twitching. So let me get this right? Let me get this phone right, and we'll be right back at it. So we're not gonna have all this. I see it's kind of janky. Let me get this phone right. I'll be right back at y'all. Right? Let's get this figured out right now. Let's get this figured out. Let's see. 1 second. Let's get this figured out. Y'all should still be able to hear me though. All right. So let me get this camera right. What's going on, Mary? What's going on? Give me 1 second here. I want to make sure everything is good. Let me cancel out of everything in the background. Give me 1 second. And we're going to get right into it. So while I'm clearing out everything here, because I literally just hit the record button. So I'll be expecting everything just to be the same as it was yesterday. But as you see I'm starting to create content every day now, and these are the type of issues that I'm running into, right? I can't be thinking that everything is just gonna go as smooth as it is, because that's just how it was yesterday. So again, let's get this figured out. I'm gonna disconnect this. But anyway, why is this title Fuck Everybody? Because we're in the year of 2025. We are in the energy of Mars, meaning we have to have the mentality of Mars. Let everybody else on the mainstream try to travel to Mars via spaceships, and they're trying to get us physically to Mars, occupy Mars. Well, for us, we already know about Mars. Before we ever get to Mars physically, we have to be on Mars mentally, spiritually. What is the spirituality of Mars? The spirituality of Mars is war. So let me reconnect this phone. So let's get these visuals back. The energy or the spirituality of Mars is war. So that's why I'm not really coming in peace anymore. I pretty much came in peace the entire time I've been on YouTube. It's always been peace. Then it went to 93. Now it's war. That's just how the year got me feeling. And we're going to get into it a little bit more. Let me get this camera back on. All right. So let's see what happens. See if it works. There it is. There it is. All right. I think it's good now. Okay, we back. We back in. Okay, we good. We good. All right. Y'all let me know if the background classical music is too loud, and I'll turn that down if it's distracting. That's why I'm like, I'm not even really playing the hip hop anymore. I'm like, we just about to go straight classical, just to balance out, the demons that I'm gonna manifest, the negative energy that I'm gonna manifest. but in a positive light for a positive manner. We're going to be the tower. We're going to destroy what needs to be destroyed. So we have to occupy the essence of war. So I think everything is good. Now I'm not seeing any glitching. I think everything is good. All right. So of course, let's get the THC and the alcohol in the system. And just for clarity, this is not something I do off camera, right? So when y'all see me inhaling the vapes or sipping on the alcohol, I don't do this shit off camera. This is strictly for the spirit. This is strictly for the channel. So when this camera go off, I'm not touching the alcohol. I'm not really touching the vapes. I just strictly do this to get into the spirit, right? So I don't want to give off the wrong idea to make like, oh, this shit is cool to do. Nah, because if you're not on top of your shit, vices will destroy you, right? That's how people become alcoholics. That's how people become weed heads and whatever the fuck, right? When you let it get the best of you. So I use vice productively. I'm like, okay, let me get on camera and let me do a show. But when this camera go off, it's back to that real shit. So let's get to it. So I'm gonna put the mic down. We're gonna boost up and I'll be right back at you. All right, what's up, Chief? Say Grand Rising. It's kind of crazy to say Grand Rising. It's like 4 p.m. It's like 4 in the afternoon. 7 in the afternoon if you're on the East Coast. What's up, El Ray? Peace and war. Peace and war, right? Cause I'm just really on fuck peace right now. I'm really on fuck peace. What's up, Miss Libra? Peace and war. I'm really on fuck peace. But let me give you some insight as to why I'm in this energy. Of course, it's 2025, so of course we are already in the energy of Mars. We are already in the essence of Mars. That's why I made the video yesterday talking about the 9 frequency, right? So if you watched yesterday's live stream, you should have a thorough understanding of what the 9 energy represents, right? So now that we understand the foundations of what Mars is, what the tower is, what the number 9 is, we dealing with releasing karma, right? Mars or the number 9 brings that karmic energy to the surface so that you can deal with it. That is conflict. So you can say the 9 or Mars creates conflict in your life. It doesn't really create peace in your life. It creates conflict. It creates war. So this is the theme of the whole year. This is not really going to be a year of peace. This will be a year of conflict, and as we see on the world stage, and then you can also use your personal lives, right? I'm sure everybody's been going through some conflict. You've been going through some war on any level, whether it's a personal level, it's with somebody else, it's with family, it's with friends, it's with the job, it's with the business, whatever it may be. We're going up against conflict. We're going up against war. Why? Because this is the mainstream mentality. Because when you are your true self, when you reflect your true essence, it's really intolerable to most people unless they really fuck with you. Let me make that more clear. What's up, Immortal 7293? Unless a person or people or a group, alumni, unless people really fuck with you heavy on an authentic level, they're not going to be able to bear the realness of your light, the trueness of your essence. It's unbearable to fake motherfuckers. Fake motherfuckers don't want to see you at your highest light because it reflects negatively on them. So unless a person really admires you and respects you, it's not going to come off as something positive for them when you decide to be your authentic self, when you decide to live out your star path, when you begin to unlock the treasures that you buried for yourself in your past lives going into the future, when you unlock your Akashic records. When you unlock your Akashic records, it's unbearable to the mainstream. People are not going to understand why, because you are no longer conforming to the standards of anybody else or the world standards. You can no longer be put in a box. So that is conflicting to most people who live in a box. If people live in a box, you will be very conflicting when you reflect your true essence. That's why the nine, you will lose friends. You may lose relationships. You may stop talking to family members. You may lose a job or even quit a job because it just becomes unbearable for you to exist in a paradigm that your true essence is not tolerated or accepted. And as we know, in the world, it's not really accepted. So you literally have to create a space that it is tolerated. Something only you can do. Only you can create a space for you that tolerates you and your trueness and your essence. Nobody else is going to do it for you unless they really fuck with you, right? Because if they really fuck with you, they want you to be at your apex just like you want them to be at their apex, right? But if it's anything lower than that, your apex reminds them of the level that they're on. Meaning, if you are doing 2 times the work, they are doing 3 times the work, 4 times the work, 5 times the work. If you're working 5 times harder than somebody who don't really fuck with you, then it makes them look bad. So why would they want you to be on top of your game if they can't match your energy? Because your energy is really unmatchable. That's what Mars is all about. Mars also, deals with the ego. It's about seeing yourself as unmatchable. Can't nobody fuck with your true essence, meaning what makes you you. You are the best at being you, so you are reflecting that true light. What's up, Don't Trip TV? I have beef with people that were once my friends. That's how it goes. Most of the time, your enemies is people that were once close to you. Your enemies are not really people all the way on the other side of the room or the other side of the city, the other side of the country, people that don't really know you on a day-to-day basis. It's hard to really hate people that you have never been close up on. You don't know their secrets. It's hard to hate people. You don't really know them like that. You only really know what you hear because you have no interactions with them. That's why they call these people frenemies. Frenemies are the people that just want to get up close to you just to really see what you are about and now have a reason to justify how they feel about you. They may have envy in their heart. They may have jealousy in their heart. They may even have hatred for you in their heart, but they just need to justify it. Why do I not like this motherfucker? They may not like you, but they may not know why. So, of course, they want to. If they ain't trying to get up close to you, then they're going to be asking people about you. So they're going to be asking the people that's in your inner circle or the people that are around you. So a lot of people be doing that shit. A lot of people know all that's going on with you because they're talking to somebody that's close to you. That's how people operate. It's human nature, snake shit. We are in a year of the snake, so this is going to happen a lot more than usual. You're going to see this activity play out a lot more than you usually would if it was any other year. That's why, you really don't know who to trust unless they have proven themselves that they can bear you at your apex. Meaning they can't just fuck with you just for what you bring to them, whatever status you may bring to them, whatever resources, whatever privileges you may bring to the table. Because who don't want that, right? Who don't want to be around the popular person or the person that excels, the person that is on top of their game, so they put everybody else on top of their game, or they hold people to a certain standard. But if you're lazy, why do you want to be around a person with work ethic? Lazy people tend to be with other lazy people. I didn't see this shit. When I go to the job, I didn't see people who came through the door with work ethic. But because they surrounded themselves by a bunch of lazy fucks, they lost their work ethic. Now they're just like them. They conformed because they got people in their ear. Like, what are you working hard for? You're getting paid the same amount. Why do you need to do more when they're not paying you more? They start getting into their head. Like, oh, well, fuck this company, fuck this business. Like, they don't really give a fuck about you. You're just a number. Why are you trying to bust your ass for them? Why are you working for these people? They don't give a fuck about you, right? So they get into these people's heads, they get into these people's minds, they get into these people's hearts, and they may even get into these people's soul, and it makes them like, yeah, why am I busting my ass when I can still get paid the same by doing the bare minimum? I have seen this shit over and over and over again. You know, because when you are in a position of leadership, you have a lot more wiggle room to really observe the nature of people, which is what I'm doing all day, every day. So I'm not a person that just has to stay at a station and just do their job, and I don't even know what's going on the other side of the room. I'm able to move around a lot more because I'm in a position of leadership, so I'm just studying people. So I know the people who just like to be on their phone, who like to fuck off, who like to run their damn mouth. At any given chance they are able to distract themselves, they are taking the opportunity. That's what I'm studying for. That's what I'm looking at. Who is taking every opportunity to fuck off? Now, does that mean I'm about to get in their ass and tell them about themselves? I'm like, no, I really want people to be exactly who they are. I'm not about to tell you nothing because I already know your truth, and I just let you be who you are, and I just know where to place you. I'm like, all right, this motherfucker don't work, this motherfucker do work. This motherfucker is working when I'm not looking or not. This motherfucker only work when I'm like right on their ass. If I'm not directly looking at them, then they're gonna slack off. Then it's the people that just don't slack off at all. Then there's people that's gonna slack off in your face or not in your face. They don't give a fuck to even, do more than they have to do. They're gonna do the bare minimum to keep their job, right? So you see all these characters, you see all these things, right? I had to cut off this friend. I thought she had changed and was giving my brother information about me, which it was none of their business. So I realized I gotta keep pretty much to myself. This is, you see, snake shit. This is exactly what I'm talking about. People will use the people around you to get information, and when the people around you are not intelligent enough to keep that information secret, then they're not really your people. Because why would your people be telling you, telling your secrets and your information to somebody you don't even know? Why would they even do that? Why would I tell the secrets of a person that I consider a friend, that I consider an ally? Why would I tell their secrets to someone that looks at me or them as an enemy? But of course this happens all the time. Why? Because people have no discipline. They're easily manipulated and seduced. So people may not ask about you directly. They may understand the weakness of your circle. For example, if you're friends with a dude and then the women know this dude is weak for pussy, then they know all they gotta do is activate their feminine essence to get this dude to break. So whatever they want to know about you, now they got access to it through the weakness of your so-called friend. That's supposed to be armor, your protection, your defense. Because the only way people can get to you, they have to penetrate your defenses. So if your defenses are weak, they're going to get to you the way snakes get to you again. So they're not going to directly confront you. They're going to know all the information about you before they ever say anything to you, if they ever say anything to you, right? They didn't already gather their information. They didn't already did their groundwork, right? And yeah, it is shit like that that make people start to keep to themselves more, because that's just a law of human nature. People will manipulate the weaknesses of others to get the information that they need. This has been going on since day one, right? That's why I say nothing is ever innocent. Nobody is ever doing something or saying anything for no reason. See, this people just don't pay enough attention. Nobody's asking nothing for no reason. Everybody has some type of motivation or some type of intention as to why they are doing what they're doing, why they are asking the questions they are asking, and why they are manipulating people for a particular reason. There's always a hidden motive. Everybody has hidden motives. It don't matter who they are. It don't matter if we're outside. It don't matter if we're at the job. It don't matter if you're in your own household. Some people are sleeping next to the enemy. The person you sleep next to can very well be the enemy if they are not your ally. And how do you know if a person is your ally? Because they can take you at your apex. They can take you at your best. Fuck your worst, because that's a lot of people like to use that saying where, well, if they're with you at your worst, then that confirms that they're really with you, because they didn't have to be with you because you was at your worst when you was at rock bottom, they helped you when you were down. They feel like, oh, these are people are real ones, right? But those same real ones, when you start to grow and you hit your apex, they now have jealousy and envy in their heart. When it was just dumbass shit going on, minuscule shit going on, they was right with you. When you was all the way down here, they was down there with you. But the moment you start to level up, it's not like they about to level up with you if they don't really fuck with you. They can't bear your light. They can bear your darkness. So people that gather around other people in their darkness don't mean shit. Even though that's what people always say. Well, if you helped me when I didn't have shit, I'm gonna show you love. That don't okay. Well, does that stop a person from changing on you, from doing some snake shit? Does that stop them from being the human that they always have been? No, it doesn't. People just want to have leverage over you. They want to know your secrets, because if something ever does go wrong, now they have ammunition to use against you. Always remember that. Always remember all the shit that you're revealing to these people. If one of these people decide to be your enemy, they're going to have a lot of ammunition against you. So that's why they say things like don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. That's why we have sayings like that. If you're doing something or saying something that can potentially get you caught up, if this person changes their mind about how they feel about you, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Because, we just like to bring people in so close. We be needing people to talk to. That's why I say fuck all that weak shit. This is not the year of the weak. This is not the energy of the weak. If you need to be alone, then you just need to be alone. Because only you know your secrets. Only you will be your own downfall. Because when other people have the power to manipulate your downfall, it's still your fault because you brought them in, which you should have never did. Unfortunately, we be having to learn these things the hard way, right? Even if a person says it to us, sometimes we just got to learn the hard way. But you see, everybody learns it, though. It's not like some people learn it, some people don't. We all have been amongst snakes. We are all currently also around snakes, even if you don't think you're around snakes. That's why a snake doesn't want you to know that they're there. That's the nature of a snake. The snake doesn't want you like, hey, I'm a snake. No, they don't want you to know, because the more you don't know, they are able to manipulate you in a way, because they want you to think that they are your ally, but they are truly your enemy. That's how they work. They're not going to come to you and confront you like an enemy. They're going to come to you and confront you like a friend, like somebody who has concern, like somebody who is looking out for your best interest. That's how they're going to come. They're not going to come to you this full-fledged enemy with the sword in their hand. They're going to come to you with the shield. Oh, I can make you feel better. Oh, this person hurt you. I'm going to try to, nourish you back to life. Pretty much, when people go through breakups and then they be talking to their friends and shit about whatever the fuck they're going through, their friends are supposed to provide, the defense and the armor to, help them remember that, okay, you have self-worth, whatever. We know how this shit go. But what if that person was really your enemy? But that's why our friends can be our enemies, right? As we know. Meaning, a lot of friends destroy the households of others. Meaning, if you listen to the wrong friends, you end up making decisions that hurt you. Because you're listening to a friend that was really an enemy in disguise. So, if let's just say you're in a good relationship, somebody who is pretending to be a friend who is truly an enemy, they're going to cause you to look at this person differently. They're going to tell you that, well, you deserve better, you deserve more, you shouldn't be tolerating this, you shouldn't be tolerating that. While you're thinking, oh, this is my friend, they have my best interest. In reality, they're like, no, I just don't want you happy, right? I want you to be just like me. Because they may be in a relationship, but they're not happy. If they are in a relationship and they are not happy, then they're talking to you and you are happy. You think they're going to use your happiness as motivation to try to be happy in their own life? Normally, that's not how it goes. Normally, they look at your happiness, and it makes them jealous. It makes them envious. So they would rather you not be happy and just be miserable like them. And the only way for you to be miserable like them is for them to throw wrenches in your situation. People just love talking about their business to other people. I don't fucking understand this shit. Maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio. I never understood, why are you talking to other people about your business, especially what's going on in your household, and then giving their opinions some type of weight as if they know the best for you. How the fuck do they know what's the best for your household and they don't pay any of the goddamn bills? But for whatever reason, people just like running their mouth about their inner workings and they wonder why their life is fucking chaotic. You need to keep your motherfucking mouth shut about anything going on. Keep secrets. But again, this is just me. This is just coming from a Scorpio. Scorpio is a keeper of secrets, right? So all I do is keep secrets. Do people come up to me and tell their secrets? Yeah, because again, I'm in a position of leadership. So they're going to come to me and tell me about their grievances and all that. But do I go telling other people? Hell no. Every secret I know goes to the grave. But I'm not even going to say it's a Scorpio thing, because some Scorpios are fucking snakes too. So I'm not going to say it depending on your zodiac sign. But just the reason I have that mentality, I'm like, I have to be the keeper of secrets. If people come to me with secrets, which as y'all already know, if I've ever did your natal chart, if I ever spoke to you in person, if we ever did any business, whatever secrets you reveal to me, because again, I'm looking at your natal chart, so I'm looking at you from a perspective that nobody else knows. They don't know these things. I look at that as sacred. I look at that as, this is not something that I can reveal to anybody else. I'm not going to ever reveal this information to public. I'm not going to ever put out somebody's information because I'm asked. I have to keep this shit concealed to the grave, meaning at no point in my life am I able to reveal these things that I was told by somebody else who trusted me. I'm not going to violate trust. It has to go to the grave. That's just me. Again, that's why I'm in the position I'm in. I'm like, okay, if I wasn't like that, then I probably wouldn't want to be an astrologer. I probably wouldn't want to deal with the occult, because most of this is secretive. This is secretive information that majority of people don't know. So if we are discussing secret material that nobody else knows, then it does not need to be made available to people just because they are asking, right? What's up, Jared? What's up, Mystic Apex? What do you mean you missed me? This is like my third live stream. I know, normally I disappear for a month, come back. I told y'all it's over with for that. I'm building back up the energy now because I know that y'all need the energy. That's why I'm coming. I'm like, every day, as you see, I'm going to keep showing up every day, and I'm going to be bringing this motherfucking energy as y'all are used to seeing. If you've been with me for years, you know I got that energy. Now I'm building it back up, because I'm like, okay, I no longer have distractions. I had to organize my life, take away the distractions, and I'm like, all right, let me get back to 93. Let me get back to the people that been fucking with me for who I really am, because all I have shown y'all is my authentic self, right? I've shown y'all my darkness. I've shown my light. So if y'all still around, that means you accept it. So if you accept it, why should I not nourish you over and over again instead of worrying about what the fuck somebody else, if they don't like, whatever they like or whatever they don't like? I don't give a fuck about none of that. What's up, Ashe? Salute to you. Mars energy is heavy as fuck. It is heavy as fuck, and I'm feeling that shit every goddamn day. And it got me in the energy of war. Like, I'm just not tolerating shit. Maybe it's just me. I'm like, I'm not tolerating shit. I'm not tolerating no disrespect. I'm not tolerating anything. I'm like, anything that's not on my frequency, I'm not even tolerating that shit. And I'm giving it to y'all, so y'all understand this is the type of time we need to be on. If anybody don't tolerate you in your darkness and light, fuck just the darkness. Fuck them being there when you fucked up. Are they gonna be there when you glowed up? Or can they accept your glow up? Can they accept you when Now you got options and shit. See that'd be the thing right there. That'd be the thing. They can accept you when nobody give a fuck about you and nobody wants you. That's how relationships be, right? A motherfucker may fuck with you because they know like you ain't even on the market like that. Why? Could you may be going through things mentally, spiritually, so people ain't really checking for you like that. But let you get on your grind. Let you start putting in that work, organizing your life, doing that shadow work, and now you beginning to manifest your light. That same person is not guaranteed to fuck with you when you're glowed up just because they appreciated your darkness. Two dark motherfuckers can appreciate each other, but one dark motherfucker and one light motherfucker, that's a little different. When you become the light, shit changes up, right? Shit changes up. Friday the 13th is coming up. You talking about next month in June? When is Friday the 13th? You talking about in June? I haven't been picking up the phone for months. Yeah, if you look at my fucking call history, that shit is like one call a month or some shit. I don't talk on the phone unless it's business, right? I'm just being real. I do not talk on the phone. I'm not telling people my business or I just need to talk to somebody. No, the fuck I don't. If I want to talk to somebody, I'm about to go live. I'll talk to y'all. That's what I'm gonna talk. I'm not about to talk to her. Like, who the fuck are you? Again, unless it's business. If it's business, we can talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But if I'm not just talking for free. When I'm at work, I gotta talk, but I'm being paid at work, right? And I don't get on the phone talking for free. I don't do that shit. If somebody's calling about business, no problem. But I'm not on the phone talking for free, and I'm barely texting for free. I'm not doing that shit, right? And it don't have nothing to do with nobody else. I'm like, I'm not revealing no secrets like that. Cause the motherfuckers be getting comfortable on that phone. I'm like, I don't know the last person I even talked to on the phone. I don't even remember the last person I even talked to on the phone. I don't even know. Cause I'm not doing that. Again, unless it's business. If it's business, I'll talk all day. All right? Yeah, Friday, June 13th. Well, yeah, when it comes up, I'm pretty sure I'll be making a video because my plan is to make a video every damn day. Not just on YouTube, I've been on TikTok. Not just TikTok, I've been on IG. Right? So I'm not just doing lives every day. I'm doing TikToks every day. I'm doing IGs. I put my art on IG, right? So if you're more into my art, which I be putting like in the thumbnails, if you're more into the art, then follow the IG. So I'm not really doing this on IG. I'm not doing live streams on IG. The TikTok is more just short form. If you prefer short form content, then check out the TikTok. Cause that's where I'm doing 30 seconds, or where I'm doing 60 seconds. Some people prefer that, right? And then YouTube is where I come do the long form content. So that's why we do the hour live streams and all that. And then I'm gonna actually get on Twitch as well. I have plans to get on Twitch as well, and I guess do the same thing, just maybe for a different audience. So I'm locked in right now. This is Mars. This is what Mars is doing to me. So I'm just showing y'all what Mars is doing for me. Mars is like, you gotta fuck that job. Fuck this having to deal with all the dumbass shit that comes with a 9 to 5. That's not really what you're here to do. Does it pay the bills? Yes. But is that your mission, that your purpose? No. The mission and the purpose is speaking your truth, right? Or being your authentic self. So I can be my authentic self you can say online, on the internet, being a content creator. When I'm a content creator, I can be my authentic self. And that's what y'all all witness. Because I'm like, I have no reason to lie to nobody. I have no reason to pretend. I have no reason to be what I'm not, right? So as y'all see, yesterday I had to change. I had to watch. You see, I don't have shit on right now. This is my authentic self. I just put a goddamn shirt on, right? I ain't doing no extra shit. I ain't got the Medusas on. You see, I ain't come on there. I ain't come on here doing all this shit. I ain't doing all this. See, I could have been doing I'm like, no, I'm keeping the goddamn, because this is reality right now. We don't have to put on the facade every time. Right, so I'm just showing y'all the authentic nature of things. See, I'm over here sweating and shit. You see the sweat building up? You see the sweat on my neck? I'm fucking sweating right now. But that's what Mars is doing for me. Mars is like, you have to do all of this. You can't be tired. You can't be sleepy. You like there is no, oh, you don't have the energy. You don't have the time. I'm making energy or generate energy, and I'm making time or generating time. Because I could have easily said, that's why, again, like that's why it would take me what 30 days just to get back to another live stream. Why? Because I would, in my mind, I don't have the time for it. I ain't got the energy for it. I'm like, okay, I can continue to make those excuses. Because, if I don't hold myself to the highest standard, then it just ain't gonna get done. Or I can hold myself to a higher standard because I can actually manifest time. I can manifest energy. I don't have to rely on the energy that's in my body. That's why we are spiritual. I can go outside of myself and gather the necessary energy, which is what I'm doing. That's why I say, let's get in the spirit, right? Let me go outside of myself, right? Let me go outside of myself to get the energy. So if I have to go outside of myself, if I have to go into the spirit, if I have to go into the soul force to show up every day, then guess what the fuck I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna go into the spirit, I'm gonna go into the soul, so that way y'all gonna see my motherfucking face every day. But if I'm just relying on my own physical energy and what my body wants to give me, I'm like, oh nah, I can have enough energy for the 9 to 5, but I'm not gonna have enough energy to be doing this, doing that. So that's why I'm like, all right, fuck all that shit. This is just pure madness. This is pure chaos. I have to be a madman now, right? I have to be the mad poet. I can't just be a poet. I have to be a mad poet. I can't just be a content creator. I have to be a mad content creator. Meaning I have to want it more than anybody else, right? Meaning the burning desire within me has to burn away any excuses that I make for myself. And that's what I've been doing, right? That's why this is what, video number 3, 3 days, 3 videos, because this is me burning away any excuses, anything that I say, oh, I can't do it, or I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to say fuck everybody then. Oh, I don't really have a topic, fuck everybody then, because that's just the energy, that's my essence. Let me just talk about my essence. I don't even have to talk about an actual topic. Let me just give you the energy. And this is mainly what I'm doing. I'm not really trying to teach and educate you. I'm like, let me just transfer the energy so you understand the rawness of this 2025. We got what, 6, 7 more months? We got a ways to go. We not even at the midpoint. We got ways to go. And if you do it correctly, by the time we get into 2026, your life will be different. Your life will be different in 2026. If you burn away all your karma, if you repent for all your motherfucking sins. That's all you gotta do. Repent for your sins. And I ain't telling you gotta go to church. Repent to yourself. Repent to your higher self. Make sure that your lower self and your higher self are in alignment so that even when you sin for a reason. And that's why I was talking about vices. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna vape, if I'm gonna do this type of stuff, I'm going to do it for a reason. I'm going to do it for a purpose. I'm going to make sure that it's beneficial. I'm not just about to fucking smoke THC and just be lazy all day. So, be smoked out. I'm not doing that shit. I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do it, let me be productive. Let me do something. Let me work. That's why I'm sweating right now, right? I'm not chilling back with my feet up, kicked up like, all right, the bills is paid. I ain't really got to work. Some people have this mentality. As long as the bills paid, I'm good. I don't have this mentality. Fuck these goddamn bills. The bills are going to be paid anyway, but life is still moving. The purpose is still I get haunted by my purpose. That's why I have to keep fucking showing up. This shit haunts me, right? If I don't do, that's why, okay, if I don't fucking do content, it's like I'd be going crazy. I go crazy if I don't do this shit, okay? So it's like, while everybody else is going to therapy and shit, I just talk to y'all. I'm like, why am I talking to somebody who don't understand this shit? Who ain't never been through this shit? Let me talk to the motherfuckers who resonate. Then I feel better. Because I'm not going to talk like this to a person that I don't know and who can't relate, right? If I don't create content, I'll fucking self-destruct. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. I will self-destruct if I don't do this shit. That's why I keep coming back. That's why I could never give it up, no matter what was going on. I'm like, I don't want to do it no more. That's how I felt after my mother died. I'm like, I don't even want to do this shit no more. But what happened? All she told me was, I'm not here so that you can go harder. I'm not here so that you can give up. That was her message to me. Like, yo, I'm not here. Like, no, that means you need to go harder. Not get soft. Not be, in the background crying and shit and, oh, I wish you was still here. No, go harder. Do this shit until it is time for you to die. Go harder every day. Become more powerful. Become more disciplined. I can help you in the background. I can't help you in the forefront no more, but I can help you in the background. If you pour my energy to you, I'll always be there. Simple as that, right? So I'm like, fuck it. I'm about to just go harder now. It took me a minute. That shit wasn't overnight. But I'm like, at some point, the fuck I'm gonna do? Just be sad about the shit? I can't be sad. But I will get mad. I will get motivated. I will activate the chaos so that I can stabilize myself in a new way. I had to die and be reborn. When my mother died, I died. That part of me died. I'm like, fuck. That's why all my videos went black. I took the videos all public. I'm like, I'm not that no more. That ain't me no more. But then she was like, yeah, it ain't you. Now show them who you are now. Show them who you are now then. Fuck who you was before. Who are you right now? Let's see if that energy is the same. Let's see if it's better. Who are you right now? I'm like, all right, fuck it. I got to show y'all who I am now. All right? So all the people that's into the older videos, you know what I mean? I'm like, you just got to let them. Because some people are on that level where they need that rawness. They need that shit right from the street. Let them have it. But then still show them what comes from it. Right? Show them the manifestations. Because y'all saw me in the darkness, right? Y'all see me in the darkness. Now, what about the light? Can y'all see the light? Am I able to manifest the light now? Right? Can I be balanced with this shit? So that's how it is, right? So I'm like, let me honor the dead instead of disrespecting the dead. I'm not going to disrespect the dead. I'm going to honor the dead. I'm going to honor the ancestors. Everybody who came before me, I'm like, all right, let's do this shit collectively. So with them, I'm going to be able to show up every day. I may not be able to show up every day if it's just me, right? If it's just me, that ain't enough. It had to be me and the ancestors. So that's what it is. That's what it is, right? Sorry about your mother. You ain't got to be sorry about that. It made me go harder, right? It made me realize I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still here. So she's speaking through me now. That's all it is. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't hide from this shit. I can't hide from death. I must become death. Death becomes you. That's what necromancy is all about, right? So I'm like, all right, well, if you are already into necromancy, the forbidden art, well, do the necromancy with your own mother. Now you have a reason to do this shit authentically instead of trying to channel people you never knew. Channel the people that you actually did know. Channel your personal ancestors. Channel the people that actually assisted your upbringing. All the people that are responsible for you being here. They open up the portals for you to manifest your light. So manifest the light. So I'm like, you ain't got to be sorry about the light. It just sometimes it take that, right? Everybody has their limits as to like what makes them break, what makes them snap. I had to go through all that. I had to break, I had to snap, I had to burn my ego away. Had to die and be reborn several times. But this is the journey, right? So through death, I have to reflect new life. And this is where we are now. So through the death, I am now reflecting new life. And that's why I'm going to show up every goddamn day. Why? I'm not just doing it for me now. I'm doing it for my mother. I'm doing it for y'all. So I'm like, all right, I have to take myself out of it. I am the vessel. But it's not just me. It's a lot of background activity you can't perceive with the physical eye, right? Which is what I'm supposed to be doing. So when I am the mad poet, hell yeah, I'm about to ingest the THC. When I'm the mad poet, of course I'm about to ingest the alcohol because I have to work through the madness. I have to give y'all chaos in an orderly fashion. I can't just give you order. I can't come to y'all like a pastor or a preacher, somebody who was sinless. I have to come with full sin. I'm full of blood. I'm full of sin. I had to repent too. And I always repent on a daily basis, right? Because I know this madness will lead you to a path that will make you look at yourself different. So you have to accept who you really are. That's what the darkness transforming into light is. Do you accept what these energies that you were born into? Do you accept the energies that you were born into? That's ultimately what it comes down to. Do you accept the energies that you were born into? Do you accept the portals that you have access to? And sometimes we need death to remind us of our authentic self. Do you accept you? Because if you were not accepting you, because I wasn't accepting me before when she was here, but I accept me now, right? So that's how it is. Thank you for sharing your life with us. I don't think it would go any other way. I don't think it would go any other way. You know what I mean? Because yeah, I do feel like I gave a part of my soul to y'all, right? People that have been around. I gave you a part of my soul, right? Which is what I'm supposed to do. Everybody else, again, they're just trying to get the money. They're just trying to get supporters, followers. They don't really care about the audience like that, right? It's like, what can the audience do for me? I'm not looking at y'all like, what can y'all do for me? Again, that's why I don't ask y'all for anything other than the attention. All you gotta do is just listen, right? I'm not asking you for nothing that you don't have to give. I ain't doing all that, right? Let everybody else do that because that's their mentality. That's what they really want. And if that's what they want, that's the type of audience that they attract. I don't attract the same audience. That's why you see I'm not in the mainstream, right? I'm not the person getting 10,000 views, 20,000 views. I only care about the authentic views. So if I only get 100 views, 200, 300, I know that all of those views are authentic. It's not somebody who just searching and trying to find something to watch. I may not even get recommended in the YouTube algorithms. But is that going to stop me from going live every day? Not at all. Because I'm not even paying attention to that. I don't even know how many people is watching right now. I'm not even looking at these numbers. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm about to take my ass over to TikTok and drop some videos on TikTok. When I'm done with TikTok, I'm going to take my ass over to IG and drop some art. So then I restart this shit the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day to the point where I'm doing too much, y'all can't keep up with it. That's the point that I'm working towards now. I'm just doing so much damn content like I was doing before, but now I'm doing it at an even more rapid speed. I can say all day, okay, I did over 1,000 videos, but watch this next 1,000 videos come at an even faster pace than the first 1,000. The first 1,000 took like 10 years. The second 1,000 is going to take like 2. So just imagine that. Imagine me just smashing out content. That's why I'm building up my energy, right? The first video I seen from you was how to be a trap god in 2020. Yeah, you see how far we came, right? You see how far we came. That was like 2015. Yeah, yep, that was like 2015, the beginning of 2015. That's also, I think, the biggest videos from 2015 when I did that hip-hop documentary, like Hip-Hop Manifestation, some shit like that. 2015, I think, was the first year I actually started to get some traction on my YouTube, because I started my channel in 2013. It wasn't until 2015 that I actually began to get traction. Why? Because I started putting out more videos. I was just kind of putting out videos here and there 2013, 2014. But when 2015 came, I started putting out videos a lot quicker. And then I'm like, oh, I'm getting traction, right? Like, I remember exactly what happened. I will tell you exactly what happened. Towards the end of 2014, I did a 14-day fast. I'll tell y'all exactly what happened. December 2014, I quit my job. I was working, I had a 9-to-5, I quit. I went on a 14-day fast, no solid foods. I said to myself, I will put out 100 videos by 2015. All you gotta do is look back at my channel and look at how many videos I put out in November of 2014 and December 2014. I think I got up to like 50 videos. I didn't make it to the 100. I made it to about 50. So in about 30 days, I put out 50 videos. That's what it took. So then when we went into 2015, that's when I began to get traction, right? So now new people are starting to see me, because I guess the YouTube algorithm began to push me now, because they're like, yo, you just putting out too many goddamn videos. You putting out way too many videos, because I was putting out 2 to 3 videos a day, right? So 2015, that's when I begin to get the traction, and then that's when I begin to take YouTube a lot more serious. So that's why, yeah, like 2015, I was all in the streets, all type of shit. But what again? That's the energy to number 8, Saturn. Saturn is about that hardcore street shit. So that's why I was making videos like how to be a trap guy, because that was a year of the 8. That was a year of Saturn. So I showed y'all all type of street activity, because I was reflecting the energy of the year 2015. 2 plus 1 plus 5. That's gonna give you the 8. So I was reflecting the energy of Saturn. So that's why that energy is there. So every year I was reflecting the energy. All you gotta do is go back. The energy of 2014, the energy of 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. So we didn't did 20, not 20, we didn't did 10 years. So y'all didn't see me pretty much in every manifestation. Y'all didn't see the 9, me in the 9 vibration, me in the 8, the 7, the 6, the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, and the 1, because it's been 10 years now. Not too many people can say that. Y'all didn't see me in every vibration. So y'all didn't see me in the 1 vibration. The 1 vibration was what, 2017. 2017 was the first year I started live streaming. Right? So then I began to put out content a lot more frequently, because now I'm able to live stream. Now it's not just about pre-recorded content. So y'all didn't see me in every manifestation. And then you see how I change, and so like y'all literally, you got a whole library to view. Like, okay, well, how's a 9 vibration? How's the 8 vibration? All you gotta do is look back at how I was at a particular year. Even this year, again, we're at the 9, so that's why I'm reflecting this energy. What was it last 9 vibration? It was 2016. If you go back and you watch my videos 2016, you may see a similar energy, because it's the 9. Of course, it will be differences, because it's a different different combination. Even though it breaks down to 9, it's a different combination. So there will be variations, but ultimately you will see the same type of fire, because that's just the reflection of the times, right? I remember you were in LA in the library. Yeah, I think that was my second live stream. That's when I did the Machiavelli Magic video. I think that was my first live stream. I was in LA, I think like Vermont, and Sunset. So that was like right at the edge of Hollywood. So yeah, so I remember that. Then the second live stream, I believe I was at the library, and I was talking about Machiavelli Magic. I was talking about how the All Eyes on Me is the most occult album. Like, I remember all that. I'm like, okay, I can make content on the move now. So that was such a relief, being able to live stream. Like, I can make content on the fly now. I don't have to, okay, what am I gonna say, how I'm gonna do this, the editing, like all that was time consuming. I gotta edit these videos, I gotta edit the visuals, the audio, I gotta edit all this stuff. But when it's live stream, it's just raw and authentic, right? So all I had was a cell phone and the camera. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for it, and that's just what y'all was seeing, right? So yeah, I started with the LA library. Why? Because I was always at the library. When I was going through those times, I stayed at the library, because I'm like, I'm not just about to be roaming around in these streets looking for something to do. I'm like, I already know what I got to do. I got to hit these books. Because if I don't hit these books, then I'm not going to be expanding my mental plane. So how am I going to be talking about all these topics if I'm not actively reading about these subjects and looking at it from different perspectives? What have the people in the past said about what I'm talking about right now? That's really what I was doing in the library. How were they explaining these concepts that I'm explaining now 100 years ago? What was their perspective 100 years ago? Before we was calling the shit New Age, well, what was they calling it before that? It was called the New Thought movement. Before it was New Age, it was New Thought, right? Well, what is New Thought all about? Now, that's when you have books like the Think and Grow Rich, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. That's all those books where now they're talking about programming the subconscious mind. That was like the first time that concept was made manifest to the mainstream. Like, you can reprogram your subconscious mind, and that is what allows you to recalibrate your life. So while people are just trying to look for the next girl, the next dude, the next job, the next city, the next location, everybody's looking at the next thing. Oh, I'll feel better when I got the car I want, when I got the girl I want, when I got the dude I want, when I got the job I want. They're like withholding their happiness until it reflects externally. But you have to tap into that happiness before it happens. Like, all that is new thought. New thought is like, be happy right now. Don't wait for the situation to take place, because you're not even going to appreciate. You're not going to appreciate it as much as you think. You over appreciate when you don't have it. When you don't have something, it's like it means the world to you. But when you see it on an everyday basis, when it just becomes normal to you, it's just regular, right? Like when you were living with your parents, when you first moved out on your own and you had your own apartment, your own home, whatever the situation is, it was like, you're happy, right? But when it just becomes, okay, you going back and forth to this motherfucker working and all that, it just becomes regular. You don't have it all the way up here like this is just some unusual shit. You're like, okay, this is what it is. Like, you're not even really thinking about it like that. But when you didn't have it, when you were still at your parents' house, you was like, you couldn't wait to move out and live on your own. Like, it was your biggest goal. My biggest goal is getting the fuck out of my parents' house. Get the fuck out of my mom's house, my dad's house, my family house, or whoever your guardians may be. You like, that's all you cared about. But when you got it, you ain't thinking about that shit every day. Like, okay, this is, because you see what you got to do to maintain it. So now you're thinking about maintaining it. You're not even thinking about having it. You're like, okay, I need to maintain it. I need to make sure the rent is paid. I need to make sure the mortgage is paid. I need to make sure that I maintain. I need to keep this motherfucker clean. I need to keep this motherfucker organized. I need to stay on top of this. Like, it's not going to just, just create itself. Yes, I have the environment, but now I got to make this shit mean something. Right? I got to put my energy out on it now. I got to make it mine. I got to be able to manipulate the energy so I can open up the portals and the gateways I need to open up to advance. So just having your own isn't enough. Now you got to create the inner environment. You got the outer environment. You got the real estate. But now you got to, what's going on inside of the real estate? That's when you tap into your magic. That's when you tap into your subconscious mind. And then you make it something. You make it a place that you actually want to be. You open up the portals that you actually want opened. Right? So this is what you have to do. It's like, all right, you want something, you overvalue it until you actually have it. And when you have it, now you have to maintain it. You have to stay on top of it. You have to stay on top of the payments. If you got a car, you got to stay on top of the car note. You got to stay on top of the maintenance. Whenever the car is malfunctioning, now you got to buy the parts. You got to get it repaired. You got to stay on top of it. All right? And that becomes more important than you just having it. You see what I mean? So when you wanted it, you wasn't really thinking about what come with it. You wasn't thinking about the payments. You wasn't really thinking about how much money it's going to cost to maintain it. You start thinking about it after you had it, because how would you really consider these things if you're not thinking about it, right? So yes, everything is within you, and what they mean by everything is the emotion attached to the outer experience. So when they're like, well, everything is already within you, that means you can be happy right now. You don't have to wait until the external reflects happiness. You can be happy right now. You can be at peace within yourself right now. But through that peace, it's going to take inner conflict. Excuse me. If you want to maintain or generate peace, you have to go through inner conflict. Because the inner conflict is what holds us back, and why people, you can say, they can't get over their vices. They can't get over their environment. They're not able to supersede their environment. Whatever is going on in their environment, it affects them. That's why they call us, you become a product of your environment, because your environment is programming your subconscious mind. That's why you become a product of your environment, because you're being programmed by your environment and not even knowing it. So even if you don't associate with your environment, you're still being programmed by it. So that's why you have to take control over what you are programming in your subconscious mind. So when you begin to program your subconscious mind is no longer being programmed by your environment. And when your subconscious mind is no longer being programmed by your environment changes. When your subconscious mind becomes more powerful than your environment, because now you take control over what is being programmed into the subconscious, then your environment changes. Not before, only after. So that's why the power of the subconscious mind became, the biggest thing in the New Thought movement. Because, like, well, if you want to change your environment, then you have to start within. You got to do the internal work in order for the external to change. It don't happen like, okay, I'm gonna get a better job, and then I'm gonna move and be in a better neighborhood and all that. That's how everybody else is thinking. So that's why most people are not happy, because they're waiting for the next check. They're waiting for the next opportunity. They're waiting for the next this, the next that. So that's why they call it a rat race. They're just waiting for the next meal. They're not satisfied within themselves because they were never taught how to program their own subconscious to be satisfied. You still have drive to do more and to be better. You have the drive, but you're not desperate, or in today's terms, you're not thirsty. Right? Because people will come up to other people thirsty, meaning they come in with vampire energy. Right? So you open up my mind to the fact that emotions and feelings are chemicals. It absolutely is. Because we are vessels and machines of alchemy. You can alchemize your emotion. Somebody could have pissed you the fuck off, and you have the ability to change your emotional state. You don't have to just be pissed off all day because somebody pissed you off. You have the ability to alchemize your emotion and keep moving forward, and that doesn't seep into your subconscious mind, and now you begin to feel different about yourself. Because what happens is, when you're constantly faced with resistance from the external, you begin to question yourself because it begins to hit the subconscious. That's what people be doing in fucking relationships and shit. Like, they be saying little slick shit and saying it over and over again to the point where you begin to doubt yourself. Then when you doubt yourself, then you feel like you are a slave to your environment instead of the creator of your environment, because your subconscious is being programmed by somebody else, liking what you do or not liking what you do. That's why I say fuck everybody. Program your own subconscious, and then your environment will change. So that includes the people, the location, and also the objective or the things. The people, the places, and the things will change when you take control over your subconscious. Because when the people around you are influencing your subconscious, your environment, and then the things in your environment, then you feel like you are locked into that. You feel like you don't have power over it. And that's, a lot of people feel powerless. Like, damn, well, I've been putting in all these applications. Nobody wants to hire me. Did you hire yourself? That's the real. Did you hire yourself? Because if you hired yourself, you would be working for yourself. So while you're looking for jobs and filling out applications, you also creating content, because that's also an avenue. You see how that works? Or if you already have a job, you're not satisfied with that job, or you about to wait till they feel like that they're ready to promote you, and when somebody else is ready to give you an opportunity, no, you're giving yourself the opportunity. You ain't waiting for somebody to make you a part of their social equality when they feel like you're ready, because most of the time they end up giving it to somebody else who don't even deserve it because they like them more. You ain't got to even deal with that favoritism. You ain't got to deal with the bullshit corporate America tactics that they do to keep you in a certain place. You're like, okay, I'm not limited by none of this shit. I became an entrepreneur and I started working for myself. And all the money that I'm making from this physical location, I'm putting back into my craft. And when I get to a certain level by investing, then I'm going to become better at my craft and just keep going to the point where the job don't mean shit no more. So you make the decision as to how you want to live your life. We're going to wait for somebody else to give you an opportunity, or you're going to create the opportunity. You're going to add value to yourself and then manifest that value to others, or you're going to put it in somebody else's hands, right? So we at the hour, that's the message for the day. 93, do what thou wills, a hold of the law. Loves the law.